Hi there, my name is Nicole Warren, and I am doing a video for University 501 for Grand Canyon University. I'm doing the disposition self-assessment survey, and I'll be answering some questions for you. So, number one, what dispositions do you possess that make you a successful teacher? It's kind of funny. I agreed with all the dispositions on the survey. So I'll start with the first one that I agreed with. Educators should believe that all students can learn and should set and support realistic expectations for student success. I definitely think this is very important. Students who aren't embraced and encouraged to learn and aren't supported won't be successful, and therefore you as a teacher really aren't successful. If you encourage and embrace a child and tell them they can as opposed to they can't, you 9 out of 10 times will become successful, and they'll become successful, and they'll just be successful. The second one I agreed with was educators should promote and support curiosity and encourage active inquiry. I strongly agreed with this. I definitely thought that students, especially within my classroom, are told to explore. They're encouraged to take things apart, put things back together, try. I have so many kids that come to me in August or September or when they turn 3 and tell me they can't put their jackets on. By me encouraging them to put their jackets on, showing them how to do it, and screaming and clapping, and when they finally get it, it shows that they can, and they're so excited. It's amazing. It makes me feel amazing. It makes them feel amazing. So that's just an example of how we should promote and support curiosity. Or when we go outside, a lot of the teachers within the school don't like it when they play in the dirt or the mud. I encourage my kids to. What's in the mud? What's in the dirt? How, does it get under your nails? How does that make you feel? What does the mud feel like? What does the dirt feel like? Getting down and dirty and really feeling the world around you is a great way to learn and explore. So that's just my method of teaching. And then the third one that I chose was teachers understand the effect of community involvement and servant leadership as it applies to the welfare of others in the educational setting. I kind of took that as I understand, when I go out in the community, I need to look presentable. So I tend to wear things that aren't too flashy or too crazy. Of course, my hair is a little different. I like my hair fun and fabulous. So, but I go out into the community 9 out of 10 times. I'm going to see a student, and I want to look just like I always look, just like Miss Nicole always looks in the classroom. So I don't want them to be offset like, oh, you're dressed in a dress and you have heels, and no, I'm wearing tennis shoes all the time, jeans all the time, t-shirt, sweatshirt, something that looks presentable without being too flashy. And also a servant leadership. If you're not representing yourself in a positive manner, your parents are going to be questioning you. So question number 2. What dispositions do you need to work on to grow as an educator? I chose 2. Educators should exercise sound judgment and ethical behavior. So recently in December, I had brain surgery. I've been questioning a lot of things since then, second guessing myself, questioning whether or not I'm doing the right thing or the appropriate thing. So I'm not sure if I'm using sound judgment. 9 out of 10 times, I am, but I like to think back and look and make sure that I'm making the right choices. Not just for myself, but for my assistant, the classroom, the school, as an educator as a whole. So that's definitely something that I look at it that way. And educators should model integrity by their words and actions. I find myself a lot of times threatening as opposed to follow through. So that's something that I'll definitely be working on within the next 2 months of school. I have a lot of kids who think, oh, well, she's not really going to do it. Recently, I've noticed that, if I say, okay, you're not going to get this if you don't do this, I've noticed that, oh, okay, we'll see what happens. And 9 out of 10 times when I say, you're not going to get it, I won't follow through. So I really need to follow through with what I'm telling my students. Next question is, what does a professional educator look like and how do they behave? I definitely think a professional educator looks clean, showers, groomed. I'm not a good example because I teach preschool and we kind of get away with t-shirt, jeans, tennis shoes. But I think the important thing is not to have holey clothes or clothes that are torn or tattered, faded. I think it looks professional when you're wearing jeans and a preschool t-shirt. That's appropriate. I think someone who's an educator should behave in a professional manner. They should not have groups or act like they're in high school where they're all friends and they keep this person out or this person out. They shouldn't be catty. They definitely should be appropriate and professional. And if they choose to be the other, they should do that outside of the school. That's just my personal opinion. And what standards guide their thinking and actions? I definitely think that a principal is someone who holds the key and the sound for the entire building. So if they see the principal not looking professional or acting professional, I definitely think that that leaves room for, not being a professional, upholding the expectations of the superintendent. So having someone you can look to who is guiding you, being professional, uses good sound, fairness, and just really, is fair. Without that, you're not going to be successful. Your children aren't going to be successful. Staff isn't going to be successful. So being fair, being kind, dressing professionally, using sound judgment, making sure that you're doing the best for the school and for the community is definitely something that I think a professional educator looks like. So this is the final goodbye from Nicole Warren. Thank you.